Ha ha ha. Joke's on you guys. Can't pause it. So hopefully you got it done. Actually, I goofed. I messed up on the video. I clicked stop and evidently I couldn't resume. So the recording was what it was. So there's a part 1. Now there's a part 2. So hopefully you have the class activity done and you have this paper all filled out. Hopefully you have this all filled out. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, all 4 of those colors filled out: red, blue, purple, green. And the rules I will go over with you. Okay, I have it done. All right, so if you got the rules, or if you haven't tried to get the rules on your own yet, pause the video legitimately and try to do that on your own. And then, but I'll just go ahead and tell you the points right now of what the rules are. So after you go through, so here's red. 5, 2, -2, 5. These are all my rotations. Again, these are all counterclockwise. Okay. Here's what you should have got for blue. -3, 4 to -4, -3 to 3, -4. You guys can see that if you need more time. Pause. Mr. G. Purple. There's purple. -2, -6 should begin in quadrant 3. Then you just kind of work your way around doing the rotations. Again, you're rotating it counterclockwise each time. You need to go back to the part 1 video. All right, so we got red, blue, purple, green. All right, so there's green. That should be what you get. And now the rules. Okay, I'm trying to do this without revealing too much. So the rules, if you notice, all of these are my original points. All right, so those are all my x, y's. And if you look at every single 9-degree rotation in this column, you should notice that, let me hold this here. You should notice that all of my y coordinates from here have turned into my x coordinates over here in the rotation of 9-degree column. Right, so all my y's turn into my first coordinate at the x spot. Right? And notice how the -6 goes to +6. The -1 goes to -1. The +4 goes to -4 on the blue, and it just keeps on going. All right, and then notice how all the x coordinates, 5, -3, -2, -7, as I go down, red, blue, purple, green, those are all flipped to being on the y coordinate of my 9-degree rotation. Right, so 5, -3, -2, 7. But the signs didn't change. Okay, so hopefully you'll see the connection between the 9-degree rotation, and you're always comparing them to the original points. Okay, so it's x, y, and then my 9-degree rotation rule. X, y for my original point to the 180-degree rotation rule. X, y to the 270, x, y to the 360, which of course just goes right back to where we started. All right, so the original point to the rotation of 360 should go right back to where we began. Okay, so the rules are right here. Hopefully that all makes sense. All right, so my x, y's is my original column. So x, y, and as I said, on the full 360 rotation, that shouldn't be confusing of how we get to x, y. Same points, right? Same column, same column. This mirror thing is really messing with my mind. But then if you just compare, like I said, just compare these two columns right there and see how they're related to get the -y, x. Okay, all of these y values have now turned into my first coordinates on my x values over there. Right? So but the signs are flipped. So it goes from y to -y. Right? So that is my rule. Then the same thing happens from my 180-degree rotation. The 180-degree rotation is a little bit easier. Right? If I compare these two right here, 5, 2 in red turns to -5, -2 in red on my 180-degree rotation. And same way if I choose green, 7, -1 over here turned into -7, 1 over there. All right, so it's still -x, -y. Just because they're negative doesn't mean that they have to be negative. It just means the signs change. Okay, so 7, +7, -1 turns into -7, +1. That's what those rules mean. So if I said, hey, I want a 180-degree rotation, you would use the rule x comma y to negative x comma negative y. If I said I want a 270-degree rotation, you would use this rule, right? But hopefully this makes sense. If you need to, pause this video and use this as a reference whenever you do your homework, okay? And if you have any more points of confusion, again, just email me, and I'll try to explain it, but I probably can't do a better job than what I'm doing here right now, because at least I have this to use as a demonstration, right? If not, ask your parents, ask your older siblings, ask somebody who knows, but I can't be there physically with you. But ask somebody in the house. Hopefully it makes sense to somebody if it doesn't to you. But hopefully it makes sense to you, because I'm doing my best. So get this chart filled out. That means these notes are all filled out, okay? We have the rules of rotations. That's really the lesson. Now we just got to practice it a little bit, okay? So the next thing that we have for the practice is this paper right here, okay? Again, this is attached to your email, okay, guys? 3 problems. We're going to do 3 practice problems as a class using these rules if you would like, or if you enjoyed the rotation thing, you can do that with all of these. Okay, you can just rotate it. Okay, and just rotate your paper face down. That's what we were going to do in class, but we're making do. All right, so this paper right here, we're going to do number 1 together, and then that's pretty much going to be the rest of class, guys. So number 1, it says rotate triangle ABC counterclockwise 90 degrees. Label the new image triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. Remember that? Pre-image to image. Okay, so the new image is going to be A prime, B prime, C prime, and they're going to list the new coordinates below. Okay, so I have these already filled out. If you guys notice, my counterclockwise 90-degree rule is x comma y to negative yx. I got that from this paper. All right, 90-degree rule. Counterclockwise right here, because again, these are all counterclockwise. Now, before I continue though, if you want to, like this is the original point, that never changes. A 90-degree counterclockwise rotation is the exact same thing as what degree clockwise? 270, very good. A 180-degree rotation counterclockwise is the exact same thing as a 180-degree clockwise rotation. Right, but counterclockwise, clockwise, 180 degrees, same thing. And then a 270-degree counterclockwise rotation is the exact same thing as a 90-degree clockwise rotation. Okay, so you can take that, jot that down if you'd like, if you need that, but because they do have different rules. Same rotation. Anyway, so we've got this first problem that we're going to do. Again, I got this right here directly from those notes that we just took. So the first part of this is I want you guys to find the points of my pre-image, my original triangle. All right, so pause the video, don't cheat, pause the video, and find the coordinates of A, B, and C before we do any sort of rotation. Okay, so pause the video, pause it. Okay, thank you. Now we're back. So you should have gotten, for those coordinates, if I move this, you should have gotten 9 comma negative 2, 8 comma negative 7, and 1 comma negative 1 for A, B, C accordingly. All right, so check those out. So now here's what's happening. We're doing a counterclockwise rotation, 90 degrees. So I have this on this board. So again, counterclockwise. This is number 1. Here's the pre-image. Whoop, move your fingers, Mr. G. All right, so there's my pre-image. And we got A, B, C. It should look exactly like this. I'm doing my best. Okay, so if I rotate this 9 degrees counterclockwise, it is going to go ahead and be right here. Correct? So it is now moved into quadrant 1, whereas before is in quadrant 4. Okay? So we rotate this bad boy, we go this way, so all my points should end up being right here. So this is going to be my A prime, that's my B prime, that's my C prime. Right? So you can do this with your paper and just rotate your paper on the table. Right? If you like this approach better of me rotating it. But if you like using the rules, use the rules. I really don't care. All right? But just use these rules. So if I use those rules like I did both. All right? So if I have x comma y to negative yx, and I should end up getting these coordinates right here. So I'm going to peel those off. And here's what you get. 2, 9, 7, 8, 1, 1. Please make sure this makes sense using that rule. If you're confused, email me. All right, but there we go. Those are my new points for my A prime, B prime, C prime, my new image. All right, so you're going to graph those points over here, and you should see the exact same result that we have right here after I rotate it, right? So I was here, we rotated this way, boom, it ends up right here in my first quadrant. And if you graph those points, I'm going to peel these off. Here's what we get. All right, so my 2, 9 goes right here to A prime. 7, 8 turns into, boom, boom, B prime. So it looks exactly like this. Whoop, this. Right, so there's my, whoops, I labeled it. Oh, well, you get it. You get the point. All right, all this mirror stuff is confusing me. So I went for my pre-image. Boom. This is no longer my pre-image. It is just my image because it's in quadrant 1 now after a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation. Okay, so again, you can go back, look at this again, but this should be my result. I even labeled here on my paper, on your paper, pre-image right here, and then image right here. Using the rule, again, use this rotation rule of 9 degrees, or just literally rotate it like I did. You have 2 options. Whichever one floats your boat, I'm a happy guy. Just get the right answer. You do you, I do me, and we'll be just fine. Okay, so that's really all we have for today, guys. That's your lesson. Go back and check this out all you want. Your job in class was supposed to be to finish 2 and 3. All right, so do the exact same thing we did. You're just using a different rule now. So number 2 does a 270-degree counterclockwise rotation, and then number 3 does a 180-degree counterclockwise rotation, which we already discussed is the exact same thing as a 180-degree clockwise rotation. So do those. I'm gonna wait for a little bit, and I will send you these via email, those answers, and make sure you check them. All right, so that's the last thing for the class. Then your homework is also in that email. Okay, and the homework is going to be titled Rotations of Shapes Homework. Right, it's the exact same thing we just did. If you need to, make a list of your coordinates right here. Right, yes, it's time consuming, but if it helps you, do it. All right, but you got these points and these points using the rule, whatever you want to do. All right, but you have 14 problems, right? 14 problems, and those are going to be due next class. And the answers, yes, it's harder to do this here. I don't have a scanner here at my apartment, but the answers are going to be on the document, right? So don't cheat yourself, right? The answers are there to help you to see if you did it correctly. They are not there to copy, right? Make sure that you hold yourself accountable. If you're confused, please let me know and I'll help you. But otherwise, that's all I got today, guys. That's all we wrote today. All right? We got the lesson on rotations. Hopefully that made sense. The convenient factor of this video is that you can go back and pause it and redo it, whatever you need to do. But that is the lesson for today. Again, email me with any questions. God bless, guys. Keep it real. Have a good weekend, and we'll be good. See you later, class. Much love from Mr. G.